Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to round 4 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships here at the beautiful Lake Macquarie. The weather is perfect, the sun is out, the water is fast, and our superboats are in the milling area now, getting ready for their second race of the day, their third of the weekend, and the final race of this 2023 championships. All the boats, aside from the Sting, in the milling area waiting for the start boat to pick them up. Jamie, what happened to the Sting?
So technically the problem with the Sting is they had an electrical problem. When the conrod broke, it took the starter motor out, they can't start it. So yes, it broke a conrod. So one power hit down, they weren't going to replace that, so unfortunately they're out. But I do believe they will still retain the title.
Yes, it's going to come down to a few points with the Mantis, but they are clear enough to look towards maintaining the championship. So it's going to be a good race here, and there's plenty to fight for in terms of second and third and fourth in the championship to pick up the final spot on the podium in the overall championship. So plenty to look for, and of course, despite championship positions, the racing is going to be hot as anything. Boats are going to be fighting for position. Hopefully we can see the TCR get another good run. They started last race well. They dropped off with a bit of top speed towards the end, but hopefully they can hold a bit of that for longer into the race and enjoy a little bit of success. As we look, the boats are circling around in the milling area.
I love that. It's like sharks circling in the water. I just remembered I missed that too. But yeah, just for the live stream, guys, my mic wasn't on apparently. Yeah, the Sting is out. They broke a conrod in one of the power heads. So Carl actually there was a little bit concerned. You called the smoke. You saw it first.
Definitely some smoke.
So I can't see that far. And they initially probably had a little bit of fire on board, but yeah, it broke a conrod in one of the power heads, so game over. But as you said, they should have done enough to retain the championship.
Yeah, definitely look as if they've got it wrapped up. And what a shame to be damaging power heads, and this is the first weekend with those new engines. So that's that'll, you know, I'm sure it won't dampen the mood. They've won the championship in their first season. Those blokes are going to be absolutely wrapped. Here they are. Here's Carl Wall. Have a look at him in his yellow shoes, his yellow hat. Look at the whole Sting squad. Look at them. Here they are. There's your 2023 Supercat 600 champions. Go grab a photo if you're down here. I'm sure they probably got some Sting stickers on them. I don't think Carl goes anywhere. Hey, you got a thumbs up for the stickers.
Thanks for your hat, Carl. I gave it to Ben.
So go say hello, and they'll be here. Watch the Mantis.
Yeah,
the Mantis gets the last laugh this weekend.
Congratulations on the title, lads and girls. Well done.
Very well done, as the start boat is instructed by race control to pick up the race boats and lead them on their sighting lap. They'll again get a sighting lap to familiarise themselves again with the track. There's a slightly different start procedure than we normally have, so we're just running it through, and it helps to create a smoother start. So the Colonel boys, 85 mile an hour champions, are leading off this sighting lap. And news on the 65 mile an hour and 85 mile an hour race just before, we had a couple of breakouts. Yeah, we had the Giggling boys go over by 0.1 of a mile an hour, so they'll cop a 30-second penalty. And I believe number 21, which is Slick Racing, also had a breakout. There may have been one other boat, but I'm not sure. Yet to hear back from race control.
Not a huge breakout, but 0.1 of a mile per hour.
And you still get penalised, so that's the name of the game. You've got to stay within that limit, but there's some excitement from the last race. As we look, as the boats start on their sighting lap, we've had news from Steve from Superbad that they were just taking it a little bit easier last race, but they're definitely thinking about giving it a bit more jandle, as the Cuzzy Bros would say.
Well, Steve's exact words to me were, watch this, hold my beer.
Well, right-ho.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Look, again, they're not going to do anything silly, but they're a little bit more confident now. And look, as a duo, they're a relatively new combination too. So Steve's learning what Ryan's doing on the other side of the boat on the wheel, and often with the experience with the throttleman against someone that's not used to the boat, they're actually counteracting what the steering guy's doing. So
Yeah.
they're working on their combination, but they're more comfortable in the boat now, and I think they'll give this a bit of a run for as long as they can.
Good to hear. As we said, Ryan, it is his first year in that boat, but he's been paired with the master that is Steve Jalek, and they've had a great season, and Ryan's picked it up really, really quickly, and he's a really good driver. And that boat's been a wonder to watch it. And have a look at the size of those things. When they're going slower, you really get, and this close to the shore, you really get to go,
Well,
wow,
they're sort of between sort of 36 to 40 knot. I'm not 100% sure exactly the length, but
the Superbat I think is about 38 foot, and 222 I believe is 40 foot. And when they're here, probably 40 metres from the shoreline,
yeah, they look like an aircraft carrier.
Trundling around on the siding lap, you get just the idea of how massive and how spectacular these boats really are.
So it used to be a little bit of a running joke with Stevie Jalek. He's been in that many boats that the boats he goes in and hops in, they just need to put a blackboard on the side of the cockpit to write his name on, because it keeps changing every time. So, I mean, I've been here and he's raced with Team 3, he's raced with Maritimo, he has raced obviously in Superbat. I'm just trying to think, he's raced in the Global boat.
He has, yep.
And I'm sure there's a lot of other race boats he's told people he's raced, he's never actually raced.
He's a very accomplished offshore powerboat racer, one of the best in the business. He's on the throttles in that boat, and Ryan Coleman is on the wheel. And in 222, we've got Darren Nicholson on the wheel and Peter Muddy McGrath. Two more legends of the sport. Peter's on the throttles.
We talk about that, Ben, and like you're a younger guy. I've been around these guys a little bit longer, certainly on the New Zealand side of things with Muddy, and got to know Steve over here through Brett Hager and the guys going over when they raced with the 333 Team 3 boys. Just talking to John Barbagallo. Happy birthday again, John, by the way. Someone told the commentator it's John Barbagallo's birthday, the engine builder for 222. Very well-established pro stock racer and engine builder. Just talking to Johnny and talking to me, and we were talking drag racing, but we're also talking about both sides of the Tasman providing so much talent across so many forms of motorsport. You've got a couple of young Aussies dominating in motocross in the US. We've got Kiwis in circuit racing, speedway. The Shane Van Gisbergen's going NASCAR. You've got Darren and the 222 team winning a world championship in Class 1. The Pro Floors boys back in New Zealand have won a title over there in the US as well.
That's pretty special.
It is, and we have for two relative. I mean, Australia's a big place. Don't get me wrong, all right, but for being this far away from the rest of the continental world, and with the talents that we've got, we do bat pretty hard across all forms of different motorsports. And,
Absolutely.
And I think about the only one I haven't been involved in is probably river marathon boats, but you know, we're pretty competitive across both sides of the Tasman, just about in any form of motorsport, and going forward, probably now NASCAR.
And we're so lucky to obviously see them on the world stage, but see them here in their countries and racing hard and bringing it to the local fans as the boats start to come along the back straight. And we'll talk about the 600 category boats. In the Mantis, Anthony DeFina is the throttle man in that boat, and Matt Kelly is on the wheel, and they're an experienced pairing in that boat. TCR has Scott Richardson on the throttles, I believe. Maybe Carl Wall could clarify that for me.
Scotty's on the wheel, isn't he?
Scotty in TCR, wheel or throttles? Steve is the throttles. Thank you, Carl. Steve Chuka Kelly is on the throttles, and Scotty, the owner of that boat, is on the wheel.
And if you talk to both guys in the boat, they won't acknowledge the other one. The guy on the wheel, he always takes all of the credit.
Yes,
typically. I've felt over the years.
And they're a very experienced pairing in that boat. And 77 AMT is Paul Folds on the throttles and Andy Taylor on the wheel. And
Foldsy's a good boy. He's another expat Kiwi. Just to mention the Kiwis. Sorry, I'm going on about the Kiwis. He is a Cuzzy bro.
And he's a very experienced driver. And Andy Taylor and him actually took out the 600 championship and the Oz 1 championship last year.
That is the reigning Oz 1. Paul didn't answer my phone last night. Were they maybe having a bit of a party?
Who knows? I didn't know where Paul was last night.
No, he wouldn't answer my phone.
For a relatively new pairing, last season they were an absolute winning machine, and they're a well-proven team as the Colonel, our new start boat, has the white flag high in the air, bringing them up onto the front straightaway here in front of race control. waiting for the two Supercat Extreme boats to get in a good line. They're going to drop the white flag. Where is it? The flag has dropped. We are racing.
Superbad's got the whole shot.
Slingshot. Got a whole shot out onto the front straightaway. They're going to pull in front of 222. They're going to have the outside line into turn number 1.
I told you, Jelly said, watch this hold my beer. He's just put a whole shot on Nicholson.
He has given it the channel, and they're going to lead into turn 1. Here come the Supercat 600 boats. It's just the 3 of them with the Sting out. And the hammers it down. It's a good start for TCR as the boat leaps up onto the plane. AMT 77 just has the lead. Then to Saracen behind TCR. Great starts from all the boat. We're going to have a look round into the first turn, see who comes out in front. It is 222. They've stuck it up the inside of Superbad in turn number 1 as they head on to the sweeping left-hander, getting themselves settled onto the back straightaway.
So just look at the differences in the rooster tails at the moment. So there's a lot less water. It's flatter coming out the back of 222. Mind you, that has now just settled down with Superbad.
Have a look at the speed of Superbad around the outside now that they've got that boat settled.
They had a fair rooster tail going as that thing got up onto the plane, and he's gonna motor on by down the back.
They've gone around the outside of 222. Goodness gracious,
we got a drag
race. More exciting.
We got a drag race. It's about 7 ton of super boats and a combined 3,200 horsepower. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good.
And look back to the Supercat 600. We've got TCR taking the lead, then to Saracen just on the inside. They've got AMT trying to round them up on the outside. We saw this last race. TCR took the lead from the start. Can they hold on to it this time? They struggled last time. They ended up a fair way back. What's it going to look like at this one? AMT looks to be just tickling the nose up onto the back of the Mantis as 222 and Superbad round that turn, heading into the right-hand dog leg.
They hooked that turn. They were really narrow. And the boys in Superbad tried to keep up with momentum on the outside, which gives them the inside run to the right-hander here. And they are side by side.
It is gunnel to gunnel, deck to deck racing here as they dip into the bottom left-hander turn. 222 have the inside. They might go in a little bit deeper, send it in, try and just push Superbad out wide. But Superbad have just got a bit of speed. They're really going to just... It is a ding-dong battle here, guys. It's on like Donkey Kong in this last race of the season.
The coolest thing about this is there's 3 engines from 222 in this fight.
This is amazing. Here we go. Let's see who comes out on top as they come onto the front straightaway here. Who's it going to be? We had 222 on the inside and Superbad, but they had a bit more speed on the outside. It's going to be 222, but by barely anything, by a couple of boat lengths. Let's see when Superbad get the boat trimmed out. Let's see how they're going to sit. There's a boat length in it, and I tell you what, they're absolutely gaining onto the back of 222. It looks as if they're almost already alongside. Once they get that boat going, they look as if they've got a bit more top speed over 222.
Yeah, Jelly just had a little bit later acceleration. So again, that rooster tail out of acceleration was a little bit higher, and the guys in 222, it was sitting a lot flatter in the water. So I don't know if they're propped differently or that. Obviously, they're not making a whole lot of different horsepower across them because one of 222's engines isn't super bad. But from acceleration point of view, yeah, it's like, again, so you can see how much flatter the rooster tail is from shore here. Is on screen. We've got the Supercat outboard battle going as AMT flies up the inside of Mantis.
Sends it up the inside, and TCR are going to have a look up the inside, dancing from sponson to sponson. That is a beautiful thing as they just tickle it up the inside of the Mantis there. Unusual for the Mantis this weekend to be sitting in 3rd spot. They're not going to be overly wrapped as we
222's got a problem.
There is no way.
222's got a problem. No way. They've slowed.
222 has slowed down. Up on the back straightaway, Superbad are going to haul past. 222 have come to a complete stop. They're just idling out into the centre. You can see them absolutely. They have stopped. They are off the power. 222 race looks like it could be over.
Okay. That's a game changer. Superbad can just cruise around here.
That is not what I was expecting.
So I haven't seen the hatches open, so I don't know if it's a problem in the boat. They're trying to rectify it in the cockpit at the moment.
It really is quite rare to see mechanical failures from 222.
I'm going to swear.
I am absolutely blown away by this, but I gotta say, I'm stoked for the Superbad boys.
Yeah,
having a good run and going to be collecting their first race win.
Well, hang on. There's 25 minutes left to go, Ben.
I know, but look look at the state of Triple Two, but we'll look back to the Supercat 600s.
Yeah, but after yesterday, the Supercat 600 boat could win this.
They very well could, as AMT and Saracen.
I was going to say, I can't see AMT, but they're to the outside
of Saracen.
Yeah. So Superbad's about to come down here in front of us, so there's still no movement. Just so the boat's, so I think Muddy's out of the boat now. So he has gone to the port side engine bay. Superbad cruises on through, so I spoke to Steve Jalek to sort of see where they were mile per hour, and he said actually over the backside of the circuit, downwind with a little bit of air under the boat, they probably topped out at about 118 miles an hour, and that was them being conservative, so it actually wasn't lacking too bad, and they were only a few seconds a lap slower than Triple Two, but look, that's just poignant now. That doesn't matter for anything because Triple Two are parked out there on the race course, and at the moment don't look to be going any further. The 600 battle continues, and she's a beauty.
Look at Saracen pipping it up the inside of 77 AMT. They're going to look to do the same on TCR coming into the bottom.
Yeah, they don't quite turn like a GP hydroplane.
No, but this bottom corner here, we've seen it a lot over the weekend. It's a popular overtaking spot. If you set yourself up and have a good run through the right-handed dogleg, you can actually get the inside line for this.
I love the fact that you said the term "send it."
Yeah, exactly right. And they can just roll off the throttles a little bit later and just stick it up the inside. And we've seen countless overtakes here as it doesn't get much better. It's side by side, almost 3 boats wide. Coming down the front straightaway.
That's a photo opportunity, that one.
That is spectacular.
Yeah,
it is 3 wide. All those engines are absolutely...
So
throttles a pin and it doesn't get much better.
From the championship point of view, okay, so Triple Two after the DNF for Superbad yesterday sort of put them in the box seat. Does this maybe change the game a little bit?
It's going to be tight, and I'd almost go to look towards race control for an answer here.
Ooh, watch this space.
It's going to be very tight. If Triple Two can get the boat back going and complete 70% of the race.
Yeah, I was going to say there'll be a percentage of the race that they have to finish within.
If they don't move from here, they won't be getting that 70%.
So it's how was it going into the round before yesterday?
Triple Two Friday afternoon before any racing were only a race ahead.
Okay.
Obviously.
So that pretty much would. Oh, hang on, because you got 2 races versus.
Yeah, they've had. So there's 3 races.
So they would still be ahead. So
Superbad have had a DNF, but it could come down very close.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We still think with Triple Two winning the previous race probably would give them the advantage. Probably. I love the Superbad boat. You know, that boat's been around for a little while around Australia. I definitely commentated earlier on with the Prize boys out of Macquarie racing that boat. It was known as the Good Guys at one stage there, and with that single intake over the top of the canopy, they look really, really cool.
Iconic.
It's it's an Maritimo boat that's probably had a few changes thrown at it over the years, like so many of these boats have. But still a very, very cool boat on the water. Look, as is the Triple Two, but it doesn't look like they're going any further as the 600s head down towards us. That's a great front-on shot on the live stream, looking straight down the tunnels of the boats.
Yeah, I do want to turn the attention to the Supercat 600 class as it looked. This has been back and forth. All these different boats have led this race multiple times. We've got TCR back in front, but again, they're on the outside. And Saracen are looking for that move again on the inside. It's going to be another double overtake as they send it down the inside on this bottom turn. There have been countless overtakes down here. Let's see how the run. We've got...
someone move this tree.
Saracen, and then it's AMT between Saracen and the TCR. But just a boat's length behind, there's a gap for them to sneak it up on the inside there. So let's see how they emerge as the Superbad rounds that top end of the course. Here come the Supercat 600s. We've got the Mantis in the lead then to AMT, who have gone up the middle, and then TCR are going to have the inside line. They're going to have a bit of shorter distance. Look at the speed on them.
Oh,
Look at the pace of
TCR and AMT. There's not even a boat width between them.
They've got that boat absolutely perfect, and they're giving it to the big boys.
Oh, that's cool to watch. That is cool to watch. Superbat coming around to complete another lap very, very shortly. Just making that right-hander. So it looks like 222 heading towards the centre of the racecourse with at least one engine just idling, I would say.
Yeah.
So whether it's a systems issue, they don't have steering, I'm not 100% sure, but when I believe Muddy got out of the boat, I assume it was Pete rather than Darren to go and have a look. It was down the port side engine, so the left side engine. I think on that, was there a shot there that had both engine covers up?
They did have the hatches open.
Both, yeah.
And
no, that's the canopy. So
that's
the cabin.
Now.
All right, so here's Stevie Jallett, Ryan Coleman. So those couple of boxes of beers we talked about for the 222 team for lending them engine, I reckon that's going to expand now if they win this one.
Yeah, very much so. I'm talking about, you touched on that this boat, the Superbat has had many different looks, and it back in the day when it was first built, it was a Class 2 boat, and it had a single Detroit diesel.
Yeah, Jelly was telling me.
Sitting in a pod in the bottom of the tunnel, and if you get up a little bit higher, so maybe on some of the rocks you'll be able to see, or if you check it out in the pits, it's actually got a tunnel flap, a flap on top of the deck, or it goes through the boat from the tunnel to the deck, and that boat with the pod, with the diesel in there, would get so much air and choke it up right at the bottom of the tunnel, it would get way too lifty. So they put a flap in it to release some air up over the top of the deck rather than coming down the tunnel, just to drop it back down. That releases air underneath, but also puts it on top of the boat, a bit of downforce as well. So the two there, that's why that, and the flap is still operational. They still use it. It's probably shut right now to get as much air down the bottom of that boat, but that's a cool story about that boat. And now it's obviously got the two Barbagallo built V8s. As we look back to the 600s, TCR has pulled out maybe 3-4 boat lengths, and Saracen loves this move.
Yeah, it's just got a little run out of that right-hander and up the inside, and it'll fire it back down, but TCR's just sneaking up in front of this buoy, just in front of race control, right up against the shore. So yeah, cool story with that boat being diesel powered at one stage. I've been through the Maritino shop up on the Gold Coast, and they had some of their old V12 Lamborghinis.
Yeah, V12
I don't know
Lambos.
if you're too young probably to have listened to those, but look it up on YouTube. V12 Lamborghinis in an offshore powerboat, they absolutely scream the most sound-sounding things. Don't get me wrong, I love my big block Chevs, but those V12 Lamborghinis were just like little Italian diamonds.
Something else, and I tell you what else I love is the battle going on in our Supercat 600 race.
Yeah, they're putting on a good show.
The last race of the championship, and it's absolutely as exciting as it gets, and as exciting as it's been all season. The TCR's finally looked to found a bit of pace in that boat. Maybe they've gone and they've changed a few things, maybe some engine heights, or who knows what they've changed whilst they've been in the pits, but whatever it has, it looks competitive.
Can't see which engine they're on, but I'm guessing it's probably the right side on 222 as Superbad completes another lap, and lap time. Our timing's disappeared. I thought I saw a 236, no, 239.
39.
Look, they can afford to cruise, but they're not mucking around there. Probably went by there at about 1:15.
Still quite a competitive lap time, and there was a 236 there, a 238. So
there was a 36.
So
okay.
Definitely back on that competitive lap times that we were seeing in the previous race from 222. And
look at this. Look at the outboard boats over the back. They're still together.
Saracen have just got the lead on this one, then back to AMT, then TCR. TCR looks to be on the outside, AMT in the middle of the sandwich there. The two Victorian boats, obviously, the Mantis and TCR are both Victorian based, and obviously AMT is from the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
So they're in a bit of a Victorian sandwich.
Boys are based down south of me. And I've got to say, this is very Queensland-esque weather you're providing down here this weekend, team.
It is. It's a hell of a lot better than the weather in Melbourne, that's for sure.
No, absolutely. Seriously, I can't say it enough. I love this place. I'm going to come back down here and spend a little bit of holiday time, I reckon. So if anyone's got a hotel they can put me up in, just give me a call.
Yeah, it's a beautiful part of the country here as the 600 boats come off that left-hander and start to look towards the right-hand dogleg.
Ryan and Steve are going to have some fun getting to these guys, because where are they going to go to split them? Because they're sort of three wide, sort of battling against each other, and they've got 3.5 ton of superboat about to range up on them very, very shortly.
This is 3 wide, and it's absolutely side by side. One is not in front of the other. This couldn't be in more of a line if you tried. And Saracen again looking to go for that inside move. It's AMT in the middle again. They're sticking it up the inside of TCR. TCR have the outside, but that'll set them up for the left-hander as they come onto the straight. So they can maybe hold a little bit more speed, take that wider line and slingshot and have that inside line up the front straight. It's all tactics. It's all track positioning.
It's all very gentlemanly at the moment, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, you have this spot. No, you have this one. When it goes to the last lap, I reckon that's when the brains get thrown out of the helmets.
And
it's game on.
It'll be
it's game
position,
on.
And here we go. Saracens come out on top. They've obviously got the outside line, leaving plenty of racing room. They've got that boat trimmed up nicely. Here's AMT. Look at AMT. It's barely in the water. So's TCR. They're flying.
TCR looks to be sitting a lot better than it did in race 2. So I don't know if they've made a prop change or what. And here comes Superbad. That is one of the best names for a race boat anywhere in the world, I reckon. That's cool.
Such a cool team. And here we see on the live stream, as we look, we see 222. That's definitely Darren.
I think that's Darren.
On the,
look, I think they're just watching the boat
sitting
race
out
now,
of the cockpit. And why wouldn't you? What a spectacle. If my boat was
or
broken
they're waiting
down,
for the Navy to go and pick them up.
in a slow speed battle.
Sorry, Darren.
I would.
It's disappointing for the guys. Geez, they've spent some time up overnight helping the Superbad guys put one of their spare engines in their boat, and the irony here is that they're parked up on the middle with an issue. Yeah. Thank goodness we haven't got another race for them this afternoon where they needed a spare engine. Mind you, there's probably a second one in the truck anyway.
Yeah, well,
how good a setup is the 222 transporter?
They're not
so you've got the trailer and the main race transporter, and then you've got the support truck, and like that has got everything in it. But times that by 2, because effectively they've got exactly that same setup in the US for the Extreme Championship that they've just won at the Worlds. What a setup, and the logistics of running 2 different race teams across 2 different sides of the world is just massive.
Yeah, you speak to Darren for a few minutes about it, and
he's so understated about it.
He's so grateful for his team. He's got one of the best teams, and you can imagine to run such an operation. He loves the team, and
Marky
they reap
Mark,
the rewards.
Marky Mark works hard, and so does Pete. He's their race shop's based up on the Gold Coast where the boat's kept. I don't think even Darren knows what's based up there, because I said, we've got one of the Top Fuel funny cars based in your shop in the Gold Coast, and he went, is there? I went, oops, maybe he doesn't know that Adam Murray's Top Fuel funny car's based out of the shop up there, but anyway, he does now.
It's getting a bit exciting as the Superbad comes to lap the 600 boats.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of separation
that's
now.
That's really separated the field. They've put a big boat amongst them.
This will be Stevie Jelly going past Foldsy again, and I think that'll include a wave. The special Kiwi wave between mates.
The wave might be back for sure.
Yeah,
and they're going to come around that turn onto the front straightaway. And
if you think we're joking, you watch some of their onboards. Seriously, I've seen some very, very funny waves as raceboat teams have gone past each other, especially if they're good mates.
I'm going to say Superbad will just have the edge on AMT, although, as we know, the 600s corner very well, and the Superbad will be on the outside.
Here's the speed difference.
Here they go. Have a look at the speeds.
So I don't know if Carl's listening,
really
actually.
Just getting
Wally,
past.
I got a text sent to me. Actually, come up, bro. Come up. I got a text sent to me saying that you and Paul Folds met after he ran over you. I need more on that story. And we've heard about these guys that get seasick and they're out racing boats. So Steve Jallick,
Scotty Richardson,
and I've got another one that got sent to me. Hang on, let me find it.
If you look at the TCR, they in the milling area, they never stationary. Because he gets all plays up when he's stationary.
Look, I can't comment because my motion sickness has got worse over the years, to be fair. So Stevie Jellick, Scotty Richardson, or Foldsy. Folsy's the other one.
Really?
Yeah, Paul apparently gets seasick as well.
Whiz.
And the reason for that is he's only 4 foot tall, so he's a lot lower to the water. Yeah,
no, good
I
little
can
fella.
make that joke because I'm standing here and he can't hear me because I'm 6 foot tall.
And here we
Carl?
go.
So Carl Wall, hey, welcome, but for the wrong reason. Obviously hurt one of the engines on the Sting, but I believe you have taken out the national title for Supercat outboard.
Yeah, luckily we did it yesterday. We won the title, and luckily we didn't hurt an engine yesterday.
So expand on this story for me. I got a text saying that Carl Wall was run over 10 years ago to this day by Paul Folds, and that's how you guys met, apparently?
No. Well, I've known Paul for 35 years now, racing together. But we had a 2-boat team. We were in a 400 boat. Paul was in a 600 boat. And coming into a corner in Bowen, he came in red hot and just ran straight over the top of us as we backed off.
I'm going to dispute that because he's such a friendly Kiwi guy, mate. But hey, the season, other than this weekend now, it's not quite gone to plan, but the rest of the season has. And congratulations on the title. And a little bit disappointing the 222 boys are parked out there. But how's the irony when they've been up all night putting a spare engine in Superbad, and Jally and Ryan are still running around and leading this race?
Yeah, they'd be thinking, oh, God, should we have lent them the engine last night? But no, credit to Darren and Muddy, lending an engine to another competitor just so that they can keep racing. That's the true spirit of offshore.
And you're not talking about something that's $10,000 or $15,000.
No, we're talking $100,000 engine.
Which is why I said that Steve said to me he was going to be a little bit conservative, and you can understand when you're playing with $100,000 worth of someone else's race engine.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, in these mines, you go, please don't break it, the whole way around, every lap. If you listen to every noise that he can.
All right, mate, we'll stay up here and hang around. Young Ben's doing a great job. Sorry, mate, I had to interview him and ask about the Foldsy story. So Paul ran over him.
Yeah, and it's good to hear from the 2023 600 champions. So once again, congratulations to you and the teammates. A bloody awesome effort.
We have to ask about the seasickness thing, though. So the other text I got, so Scotty Richardson, Jellick, and Folds apparently all get seasick.
Yeah, they do. If in the milling area, and if it's a bit of a rough day, yeah, they'll get out of the cockpit and have a bit of a yawn.
Oh, that's the first time I've heard about that one. All right, okay. We might have to expand on that later on tonight at prize giving, mate. All right, how long we got left to go in this race?
We've got 8 minutes left in this race. We look to the timing
screens.
screens.
It's flown through. It's flown through.
It has. Here we go. It's just flickering a little bit here on us, but just under 8 minutes to go, and it's Saracen leading, then back to AMT, and then they've even pulled out a bit of a gap on Team TCR, but it was so great to see some good racing. And then it shows once you put a bigger boat in there and you sort of, they get in a bit of their own clear water for Saracen, you can see that they can pull the gap out, and it really separates them. And once they're not jostling and changing positions every corner, they can really get a good run on it and pull away from the competition.
The last thing you want to do in an outboard 600 boat is run through the rooster tail of one of those superboats, because I don't know how many litres that's pumping out per second. I know from a jet sprint boat it's a lot of water, and a river marathon boat with a jet unit, but like swinging 1,600 horsepower and those big props. I don't know, what size props do you reckon the boys are running?
I'd say they've got their 32s on today. With
32-inch?
Yeah, with their 160 ratios, I'd say.
So 32-inch props. So they are pumping. It'd be an interesting number to try and work out. I don't know how you do it, but I've seen some great underwater rear reversing camera shots, and you can see the cavitation and the props working, especially in and out of the water and some of the big sea stuff. It is such a cool shot to watch.
You see onboards of a boat that's been caught up in the wash, and it's just blinded.
Getting hosed down, absolutely hosed down. But with the outboards, you run the risk of that much water pressure coming up over the top of the boat, knocking the engine covers off. And we have seen that in the past. As Superbad goes through and completes another lap with just under 6 minutes left to go in this final race of the championship and the season. And Carl, how good a venue is Lake Macquarie? And look, I'm not just saying this because I'm commentating and thankful to be here, but genuinely, as a facility and a race course for offshore powerboat racing, there is just about not too many better in the world.
I would agree with you 100%. like Lake Macquarie offers everything, especially 360 views of the whole race. Plus, we're only 100 metres walk from the pits, so people can go and have a look at the boats on the trailers, come over here and watch a great race.
Yeah, go over and see the boys at the Sting. They got some hats over there. I know the 222 have got some merchandise, and they're probably going to need to sell some extra shirts to pay for whatever they've just hurt in the 222 offshore boat. TCR's come back to AMT.
TCR's definitely all over the back of AMT, and they look.
Oh, is AMT down on that left-hand engine? That didn't look like it had much water coming out of it. Carl just said it didn't look happy. I reckon that I'm learning all these new things. The port side engine didn't actually look like it had an awful lot of water coming out the back of it. It's
a large gap to close up over a few laps, and
meanwhile the Mantis is just slaying them over the back towards Warner Bay. He's already taken out the Stingray. Well, they didn't. I did sort of.
And I can confirm with you that TCR has got a few boat lengths on the AMT, so we'll watch as the AMT comes down the front straightaway.
More importantly, they've got down the inside too.
They have, and they're going to have that inside line the whole way up the front straightaway. And they've got that boat sitting nicely, and I'm interested to see what's gone wrong with AMT.
Well, it's sort of back up and running now, but next time it comes past, I get Carl to watch it, because there's not a lot he doesn't know about this sport, and he knows 18, 20 times more than me. As Superbad comes around, I reckon 2 more laps for Superbad. But AMT over the far side of the circuit at the moment is Mantis about to make that little right-hander down off Warner's Bay. Do we know what this one is here? What bay is this one across from us here, Carl?
I don't know.
Thanks for that, mate. So inquisitive. I know Fennel Point's down there because I drove past it this morning. And Toronto? Yeah, that's around the corner. Okay.
Here we go. Superbad coming back across the front straightaway here. If they can just keep this boat going, they've already collected the win. They've got 70% of the race done. But if they can keep this going and cross the line and pick up that checkered flag, they'll get their first win of the season. And it shows it's really to finish first. First you have to finish in a lot of these races. And obviously they had the little hiccup last night, last race of yesterday, but for the most part they've put together a really good package, and it's showing today as they're putting on a good performance. Mantis has a good lead, and we're looking on the back straight after that right-hand dog leg that TCR is looking to send it up the inside of AMT into the bottom corner. We've seen this move multiple times. Saracen has been a big fan of it, or the Mantis, sorry, over the course of the weekend. They've done it probably 8 or 9 times this race already, and it looks as if TCR are just going to slot it in. AMT holding a little bit more pace around the outside. I'm just picking a gap through the trees. We're going to see them coming up down the front straightaway here. Who's going to be in front? My pick is it's going to be TCR.
Just keep an eye on that left-hand engine, the port side engine, and just Carl will have a look at it, whether it's a trim issue or something like that, or maybe the boys are just having a play.
It is TCR with the lead, but AMT have the inside line. It looks as if that boat sort of is even rooster tails. It looks all right.
No, all he reckons it's come back on side, but like that last lap it went past, it definitely didn't look right on that port side. Carl just said maybe it went into guardian mode, like a limp mode, and then Foldsey's got on and reset it maybe. Okay, all right, so that's potentially what's happened there. So it's sort of brought them back to the party, and hey, they'll put on a good show for the last lap or so. So I think this will be the last lap notification for Superbad. We're about 1:30 away from the race end.
Yeah, Superbad will manage to get in another lap. The yellow flag will be flown when they cross this line. The yellow flag, of course, is 1 lap to go. So we'll see that on our live streaming screen for you guys at home. Last, we'll thank the sponsors, Wilson Lift. They did a massive job last night. Empire Marina, of course, New South Wales Government.
Roads and Maritime Service. Yeah. So look, all of our volunteer and rescue crews out there on the water as well.
Yeah, those guys. Powerboat racing doesn't happen without our divers, our paramedics, our firefighters.
Last lap.
It's been a great effort all season, and the yellow flag is up on the live streaming screen for you guys at home too. The yellow flag, the last lap of the race. Superbad going to collect the checkered flag and take their first win of the season in the Supercat Extreme category. They'll be wrapped with that.
Yeah, and again, we've got to remember that, I don't know, what time the boys were up till last night trying to sort. I mean, they were literally still trying to button it up this morning.
Yeah, I think the last person stopped swinging spanners about 10 o'clock last night. So, yeah, they did a mammoth job to get that going, and back into it earlier this morning about 6 a.m. and made it to the water.
And there wouldn't be too many teams around the world offering a $100,000 race engine to put in another boat. I know, look, they're trying pretty hard to keep the boat on the water and that, but there would not be too many people around the world offering to do that and put their own guys up and their engine builder up to help them put it in the boat and change everything over. Because it wasn't just a simple engine change. There was a lot of ancillary parts that got swapped over from side to side, and other engines. Both engines actually came out of the boat to put another one back in. So they've changed, I don't know, about 3 boats worth of engines.
Yeah, they did. And like I said, kudos to Darren for doing this, because, it's all about the show and pleasing the crowd with the great racing.
Good stuff. All right, Superbad's only got, probably about a third of the lap left here to go. Ben, you talked about it. So their first win of the season. How cool is that going to be after the weekend that they've had, now that we look at what's gone on?
Yeah, it's really going to put a smile on their dials, and it's well deserved. Ryan and Steve, Ryan's bought the boat earlier this year, or late last year, and has put a lot of time in testing and developing both the boat and as a driver, and he's paired with Steve, who's an absolute legend of the sport, and they've raced hard. They've raced hard with 222 all season, and to finally collect the win, it's pretty special. Always collecting a win, it's always a special feeling, and they'll be wrapped inside the cockpit of that boat.
So Carl was just saying that Ryan's background's actually motorcycle racing.
Yeah, superbikes.
Wow, there's 2 very, 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 very different disciplines.
Yep, and he's stepped up into the big extreme boat, and he's done a ripper job. As they come round the final turn, they're going to open the throttles one last time on the 2023 championship season. It's going to be Superbad to take the win in this race. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Superbad, Ryan Coleman and Steve Jallick, your winners of this race here at Lake Macquarie. Second in the championship, and our provisional winners of the championship in Supercat Extreme are the 222 Navy team of Darren Nicholson and Peter Muddy McGrath.
I'm going to guess at prize giving, the first people that Superbad thank will be the 222 team.
I can
just quietly
guarantee that, as we see Saracen, our winner of today's racing.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you, Carl. As he
Congratulations.
off to celebrate the championship win, I hope. Very good, off for a beer, he says.
Can you clean the oil up on the marina, please?
Saracen, or the Mantis, coming into the bottom.
Don't you hate that when they change the boat name one race to go at the end of the season?
It's got me all raced. They're going to exit
You've done
now,
well, mate.
Kissing that exit buoy, and they'll pin the throttles and open it up and really just tickle this last yellow, the little right-hander kink, as they will come to collect the checkered flag.
Could be interesting for second.
Here they are. It's Team Mantis, Anthony DeFina and Matt Kelly, your winners for today. And second place in the championship for Supercat 600. A great performance. The new engines this season, it's been an epic journey for them, and it's going to be on between them and the Sting next season. We look
Can TCR fire up the inside of AMT here?
Last corner, the last run. It's the 2 boats, AMT and TCR. AMT just has a little bit of space on the TCR boat, but TCR have the inside line. Who knows? Can they stick it up the inside and nose ahead and get a good exit out? AMT will be holding a little bit more speed on that line that they had, and they'll get the inside for the last little kink before the checkered flag. Who knows who's going to come out on top? It's going to be side by side, and it's just going to be AMT. Paul Folds and Andy Taylor taking second place today, and TCR, Scotty Richardson and Steve Chuka Kelly taking third. And third in the championship for the AMT and fourth for TCR. A great race, and the feelings are out for 222, having to sit and watch that finish rather than being in front. But ladies and gentlemen, race fans here at Lake Macquarie, and of course at home watching on the GP Hydro live streaming, that is the end of round 4 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships, the final round. So, thank you so much for tuning in this season, for following the championship across all classes, and we look forward to a ripper season next year. There's plenty of boats, plenty of drivers, plenty of good racing, and plenty of good locations for these races. We look forward to it. We hope you do too. Catch you then. Thank you.